Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
From American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri, we bring you the week's top headlines, including expectations for the Farm Bill.
New American Angus Association Board of Directors and officers were elected in Louisville, Kentucky this month. Paige Wallace has complete event coverage. This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. With November elections complete, attention now turns to the status of the stalled Farm Bill. Budget talks are top of mind during the lame duck session, with automatic spending cuts and tax increases set to take effect at year's end. The Farm Bill could offer some fiscal relief if passed. The Senate version would include more than $23 billion in spending cuts, and the bill offered by the House Ag Committee would cut $35 billion. But despite the potential for budgetary relief, passage of a 2012 Farm Bill seems unlikely. Many analysts foresee a one-year extension of the current Farm Bill policy, and Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack stated the USDA will work toward implementing a new Farm Bill in time for the 2013 harvest next fall.
Members of the American Angus Association met in Louisville, Kentucky this month for the organization's 129th annual meeting. Delegates elected new board directors and conducted business in conjunction with the 2012 North American International Livestock Exposition. Board directors elected to a 3-year term are Charlie Boyd of Mayslet, Kentucky, Scott Foster, Niles, Michigan, Philip Howell, Winchester, Indiana, Vaughn Meyer of Riva, South Dakota, and Don Schiefelbein of Kimball, Minnesota. Paige Wallace will bring us further event coverage later in the show.
The Environmental Protection Agency has denied a request to waive the Renewable Fuel Standard mandate. Governors from 8 states this summer petitioned the EPA to waive RFS requirements for corn-based ethanol, saying the mandate would cause increased food and feed prices and create additional hardship for producers already affected by record drought conditions. In a November 16th statement, the agency reported it found no evidence of severe economic harm during an analysis of the mandate. The agency cited USDA data showing an RFS waiver reduced corn prices by just 1%. Livestock groups expressed disappointment in EPA's decision. Refiners must blend 13.2 billion gallons of biofuel this year to meet the renewable fuel standard.
Some concerning news from California this week. The Los Angeles City Council recently passed a resolution to encourage residents to avoid eating meat on the first day of the week. The Meatless Monday campaign promotes a vegetarian diet once per week to help residents adopt a so-called healthy diet. While the council cannot lawfully enforce Meatless Mondays, city officials say they hope to start a trend that will improve residents' health and reduce environmental effects. LA becomes the largest city to adopt the Meatless Mondays campaign. We'll continue to report on this disturbing trend in future episodes.
The American Angus Association continues its popular I Am Angus series next week, December 3rd. The video series explores each sector's stake in the Angus breed and beef business, our Angus heritage, and how animal agriculture remains relevant today. The program airs next Monday, December 3rd on RFD TV, with subsequent programs planned for December 27th and January 3rd. Visit angus.org to watch segments from previous episodes.
Finally this week, we bring you a heart-wrenching story about a North Dakota Angus family affected by unimaginable tragedy and friends and neighbors determined to honor the memories of 2 lives cut short. Steve Brooks, a fellow North Dakota breeder, shares the story of Jack and Vander Reich.
The Jack Reich family had a tragic loss. They started with their son Vander, that was 10 years old, was diagnosed with a brain tumor in October. They did surgery on him the end of October at Mayo Clinic. After about 10 days, they were going to bring him home to recuperate, and Jack and his wife Mardi had got about 20 miles from Mayo Clinic and involved in a car accident. Jack and his son Vander were killed, and his wife Mardi, she had fractured her neck, her pelvis, ribs, and really beat up. They've got 2 young children at home, one that's a boy that's 3 and a daughter that's 7. Jack was a leader in North Dakota in the beef industry. He served as president of North Dakota Stockmen's for 2 years and served on that board for 10 years. He also was on some national boards with NCBA and put a lot of effort and help, and he was a great leader. He was He was a guy we were trying to get to run for the American Angus Board in a couple of years, and he'd built his Angus herd from scratch up to 300 cows and was doing really well with him. So last spring in his bull sale, Jack sold 90 bulls and didn't hardly advertise it. There was no frills. I think he spent less than $4,000 in sale expense, but he averaged 6,300 on those 90 bulls, and probably 90% of them went within 30 miles of him. So that's what his neighbors thought of him, and just a great young guy and a great family. There's two benefits. One at a bank that'll go directly to the family, and another one, a memorial scholarship fund in memory of the Jack Reich and his son Vander, that the North Dakota Stockman's Foundation will handle. So if you could help support this, we sure appreciate it.
Our thoughts and prayers are with the Reich family.
Visit Angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.